Phones can always be improved, and we've had a few smart ideas for Apple's next generation iPhone. From a wider selection of screens and a resolution boost, to expandable storage and a speaker shift, here's what Apple should do for the iPhone 7. 1. 3 screen sizes. Don't get us wrong, we're thrilled Apple now has handsets which offer more real estate for your apps and games, but there's still a pocket of fans who find 5.5 and 4.7 inches simply too big. We're calling on Apple to launch a third handset in the iPhone 7 range. The smaller, more budget-focused option to appease those with dainty palms. The iPhone 6c was heavily rumored to arrive alongside the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, but alas it never materialized. Our focus then switches to a potential iPhone 7c, which we're sure will gain a lot of traction in the rumor mill over the coming months. Phones can always be improved, and we've had a few smart ideas for Apple's next generation iPhone. From a wider selection of screens and a resolution boost, to expandable storage and a speaker shift, here's what Apple should do for the iPhone 7. 1. 3 screen sizes. Don't get us wrong, we're thrilled Apple now has handsets which offer more real estate for your apps and games, but there's still a pocket of fans who find 5.5 and 4.7 inches simply too big. We're calling on Apple to launch a third handset in the iPhone 7 range. The smaller, more budget-focused option to appease those with dainty palms. The iPhone 6c was heavily rumored to arrive alongside the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, but alas it never materialized. Our focus then switches to a potential iPhone 7c, which we're sure will gain a lot of traction in the rumor mill over the coming months. We see it as a 4-inch handset with similar stylings to the iPhone 5c, with up-to-date power under the hood, the 3D touch display and Touch ID. 2. A resolution your movies and games deserve. You can't now record 4K video on the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, but play them back on the handsets and you won't get the full experience. With the iPhone 7 it's time Apple boosted the resolution of its handsets. We take a full HD resolution on the 4.7-inch iPhone 7, but if the iPhone 7 Plus turns out with anything less than a QHD screen then us and Apple will be having words. QHD is now widespread throughout the top tier of Android devices, and we're even seeing 4K screens sneak onto our smartphones. Don't get left behind again Apple, please. 3. Wireless charging. Wireless charging remains one of the most frustrating technologies around, because while it's here, it works and it feels like living in the future, it isn't as widely supported as we'd like. An iPhone 7 with wireless charging would be great, especially if the same charger worked for the Apple Watch too. And if it could support both wireless standards as well, like the Galaxy S6, then that would be just swell. 4. Curved displays. The Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge wowed us with its delightfully curving dual screens earlier this year, and it's fair to say we're rather smitten with this futuristic look. No image such sultry curves on an Apple-designed smartphone. We're going weak at the knees already. Go on Apple, wrap that screen round the edges of the iPhone 7 and we'll more than likely be in love. 5. No more 16GB models. iOS 8 adoption stalled last year, and we reckon it because people with 16GB iPhones didn't have enough free space for the 5.7GB over-the-air update and don't want to use eTunes because, well, eTunes. The fear is users will experience the same issue when iOS 9 rolls out on September 16, and with no expandable storage option it's rather limiting. When your software updates are too big for your entry-level products, your entry-level products clearly don't come with enough storage. How about starting at 32GB for the iPhone 7? We can't store everything in iCloud, even when it's working properly. 6. Expandable storage. While we're on the topic of storage, how about actually giving us some expandable option Apple? It's something we've been asking for years now, yet our request has continuously fallen on deaf ears over at Cupertino. Expandable storage would allows us to buy the cheapest iPhone and then supplement the poxy 16GB of space with a microSD card up to 2TB in size. Of course, then means Apple wouldn't break in as much cash for the 64GB and 128GB models, and thus it's never going to happen. 7. Even better cameras. Apple gave us our first iPhone megapixel camera boost in for years with the 12MP sensor inside the iPhone 6s and iPhone 6s Plus. But why stop there? People love using their iPhones to take pictures. Apple can't tell us that enough, so keep on innovating. 12MP is a good start, but spend some time with the 16MP snapper on the Galaxy S6 and you'll be seriously impressed. iPhone 6's camera. Of course, it's not all about the number of megapixels, and Apple continues to do great things behind the scenes to improve your snaps. The lit photo feature also seems like a little bit of a gimmick at the moment, and similar to the sort of things Samsung was doing on the Galaxy S4 and Galaxy S5. If Apple can harness these newfound abilities into something more productive on the iPhone 7, that would be impressive. 8. Look ID. Touch ID is great, and it's got even better on the iPhone 6s with the second generation scanner tech making it more responsive than ever, but we want more. The iPhone 7 has the chance to take biometrics to the next level, with iris recognition. It won't be the first to the eye scanning tech. Check out the ZTE Axon Elite, but you just know if Apple jumps on board it'll be slickly implemented and a joy to use. Want to unlock your new iPhone? Just give it a knowing glance. Need to purchase a new must-have application? Give the iPhone 7 your best blue steel and boom, it's downloading. 9. Speaker shift with the HTC One Meter 9, Sony Xperia Z5 and Moto X Force all rocking front-facing speakers. We're becoming increasingly frustrated with manufacturers that still insist on putting a single speaker on the base of their handsets. The sound is poor, it's not projected in the right direction, and it's often covered by a hand when the phone is held in landscape. For the iPhone 7, Apple needs to shift its speaker location to the front so users can enjoy the audio from their games, movies, TV shows and favorite YouTube videos. 10. An unbreakable screen. Motorola has done it with the Moto X Force, and going by the number of smashed iPhone screens we see on a daily basis, this is a must for the iPhone 7. Stick in a 4-year guarantee and Apple will win the hearts of many who are disgusted at the firm's charges for replacing cracked displays.